Hi, hope everyone's okay. I want to talk about manipulation again. So, I'm talking about future focus. And I know that's a kind of a target term. Obviously, people have been doing this forever, but we didn't really have a term for it before because when somebody was future faking, they just assume that person is a liar. So they would call them a liar, or they would maybe say he or she is an exaggerator. They like to exaggerate and they're storytellers or just something like that. So now we call it future faking. So there really isn't anything else to say. These people are liars. So just be aware of that because we're kind of giving the word liar a new meaning, making it seem like it's less of a lie to be a future faker because somebody is grandiose in their thinking and expressing themselves in a loud, grandiose way or has big dreams or big goals. They're future faking instead of lying. But the thing is, they're using it in manipulation, not the same thing as having big dreams, big goals. So future faking is lying. It's specifically used in courtship. So somebody wants to tie somebody into a relationship or a marriage, and so they want to come with their best foot forward, which is natural, but what they want to do is get under your skin in a sense, find out what your hopes, dreams, and goals are, and become that. Become like what you imagine your future like. So in the future, they're going to be how you imagine your future, right? So they're future faking. And it goes that way. There's a couple of different ways that future faking is actually future faking. So after pulling from your desires, and so they'll get to know you and they'll be asking you a lot of questions about what you want to do, what are your goals, which is normal and it all seems so natural. And this is how they get away with it, right? They will portray their own desires in a grandiose manner in that light, and this will propel the relationship. So they'll include your desire with their desire and make even your desires greater. Like they'll expound on your desires, on your dreams. Say, I have a vision like that. I can see that. I can see, oh, so you want to do this? Well, I'm into that too. But I was thinking about it from this angle, which would be even a more grandiose, like picture of it. Because they have to be bigger. They think big and they want to impress you, right? The thing is, they don't have a genuine interest in what they're portraying. They have an interest in because they don't want to tell you what and they want to manipulate you to whatever extent they want to manipulate you to, but they want you to become what they need you to become, whatever place that is in their life. So they want to keep you interested. They want to keep you like aggressively in tune with that because at this point you realize, oh wow, this person has the same goals and they want to do this. So you're almost now you're excited and you're ready to move forward in these directions, right? So now you're wondering when they're going to move forward. That's a really good sign. Because when somebody's excited about something and they're acting grandiose, that means they're ready to take steps towards something. It's not like or they'll give you a time span. They'll say, this project is going to start in 6 months, and these people are going to be involved, but they're not going to not have any date to come or make any step forward. It's not going to be that way. So it's a grandiose future thinking thing. One of the signs is the fact that there is no progress. No progress. You'll see no progress. It's all talk. These are big talkers, like I said, storytellers, exaggerators, right? Liars. Because they don't have a genuine interest in this. They're going along with it because they found out that was one of your interests, one of your desires, one of your dreams. That's why they're even engaging with it. They're pretending they do, which isn't legitimate, so they can't move forward in that direction. There's nothing of substance holding them or tying them down to it. They wanted to impress you, and so they used what they could because they had a goal. So they need to impress you to achieve a goal. Now they'll do this when they go to get a job too. When they're looking for a job and they're on a job interview, there's a career path, they will find out what they should be doing to get the next promotion, what they should be working on, what they should be taking steps forward to get the job that they'd like to get. And then they start telling their boss or the person they're interviewing with, human resources or whoever, all about how they plan on doing A, B, C, and D, and how they've already done this. And it would be a great move for them to hire them because they have all these ideas and they're just percolating and they just can't wait to get out of that thing. So that's how they usually land a job. They almost always land a job because they know exactly what to say in the future faking. When somebody else comes into a job interview, they're nervous. They don't know exactly what they want to say. And they'll say, well, what does your future look like? Or how do you see yourself? What can you contribute to this company or organization? And so you're a little bit nervous and you're like, well, I know I can do the best that I can. And you might have a couple of goals that you want to do forward for yourself. And you might say that those will apply to this organization as well. But this person's going to come in with the storytelling and, the over the top, exaggerations and future faking. So there's a good chance they'll get the job over the normal person who's being straightforward and honest, right? It's all manipulation. So you're going to be looking for somebody who just doesn't make any step forward in this direction. Imagine having all these grandiose ideas, but not even making a little baby step forward in that direction. That doesn't even make sense, right? So you end up having faith in this relationship, faith in what's going to happen. You're literally waiting for them to like do this. Okay. So you're like, well, they didn't do it because they were busy doing this. So, like, well, they're not really doing that anymore. So I'm going to remind them about all these things that they wanted to do. So now you're having to remind this person that they wanted to do A, B, C, and D. When if somebody was really as excited as they acted about something, or if this was really one of their interests, dreams, or goals, you wouldn't have to remind them what that is. So number one, they're not going to be anything that. Number two, you have to remind them of these things that they wanted to do. So now at this point, you have already put more into these dreams and goals than they have. You're over there working towards these things, doing things on your end, and wondering why this person doesn't want to come alongside with you. You're calling them and saying, "Oh, look, there's an event. I thought you'd be interested in it." Which they're not interested. They don't show up for the event. And so now you're in this relationship with somebody who manipulated you into the relationship, acting as if they believe the same way that they did, that you do. And so now you're a little bit heartbroken, you're losing faith in the relationship, but their biggest thing is the second you lose faith in the relationship, they come in hard and they'll actually do something that goes along and they'll take a baby step. Oh no, they'll come in harder than that. They'll take a huge step. And this huge step that they take will lead you to believe that they are on course with you, which will leave you holding on longer. That's the only time they take a step. When they feel you pulling away, they'll be like, you wouldn't believe it. They'll be so strategic about coming in and all of a sudden doing something along the lines of that direction they promised you that they were going in, which will hold you on for a little while longer until the whole cycle starts again when you start to realize they're not going to do what they said they wanted to do. They don't really care about these things. It's obvious because there'll be opportunities that come your way and their way that'll literally show you this person is not at all interested in doing these things. They'll act as if they don't even see these opportunities that are right under their nose. Look, it's an opportunity. We should go along with this. Did you see this over here? This sounds like a great way for us to get started with this. And they'll look at you and say, oh, I'm not, I don't think so. They're not into it at all. And so you'll lose faith again. And then they'll come in and all of a sudden, like literally, they'll be laying on their back for weeks in their bed, and you think there's something wrong with them. They're depressed or something. And then all of a sudden, you're like, well, I think I'm going to go do this because this person doesn't want to do anything. And the next thing you know, there they are, ready to do something that's moving forward in the right direction. But it's going to take that. It's going to take you walking in another direction, you getting yourself occupied with something else, for them to act like they actually really are involved in this. And they'll just loop this and loop this and loop this for years. They never had any intent to do what they said in the beginning of the courtship or when you got married. They never had any intention. They weren't that person. They made believe they were into your religion. They made believe they were into your way of life. They made believe they wanted a family. All of it. None of it was real. You'll end up having the family and taking care of the kids yourself. So your heart can be broken over time, watching and waiting for these things to come to fruition. And so basically that's going to start happening. You get in deeper, you're and now you're wasting time. So the problem with time is because you wasted so much time, you don't want to start over because you already put so much time into it. So time is it's a really tough thing because now you've wasted all this time. You don't want to think that you did the wrong thing because you think, they just need something to motivate them in the right direction. This is what they want. And so that's all wrong thinking. Basically, you have been manipulated from the start, and they never wanted to do this other with, and they can't accept that because they're liars. So this person is a liar. So just keep that in mind. If you're thinking it's lying, keep it on. That's it. Thank you.